Okay, and welcome to the live stream. I am Nova. Blah, 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 blah. Always. Why always? I am NOVAtazz. You're watching NOVAtazz Customs, and this is NOVAtazz Garage Talk with Friends. I actually got that part right this time. Only 13 episodes in. Anyway, so we have Jason here in on live. Damn, we've already got people in the chat. We got Stupid Fast in here. Yo, yo, yo. And we have George Allen. What's up, man? You earned a new follower. Great advertising on Rust Belt's channel. Woo, score. Anyway, so don't forget to follow my friends' channels as well. There you go. Plug.
Yeah, welcome to the NOVAtazz and Friends channel, where NOVAtazz has his beard on his head. I have mine on my chin. So
there you go. I got a little bit down here.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
falling off the sides of my head and like landed here. But anywho, anybody who's coming over from Rust Belt, thank you. Did he end his? Does he end his right at 9 or?
He does, yeah. Okay,
I wasn't sure. I didn't want to be stealing his traffic because he does have a great live stream and really good informative videos as well. At least his tool videos.
Yeah, it looks like you got lots of people coming over.
I know, man. I'm feeling lucky. Anyway, so we were talking a little bit in our Facebook chat earlier in the day, and I was commenting about something that happened to my channel after last week's live stream. You guys probably weren't in here at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night last Sunday, because we streamed for like over 3.5 hours, man. It was or maybe no, was it more than that? No, it's 3.5 hours. Right at the end of my stream last week, we had the FBI show up, we had the CIA, we had the TSA, and they were making fun of who were they making fun of? The ATF? I don't know. It was wild, man. They came in here, they started trolling my ass, and but you know, we were all having fun with that part. What I didn't notice what was going on was what was happening to my in my comments on other videos, and what was happening to my likes and dislikes on my other videos. They hit almost every single video I had for the last 4 or 5 months. They hit it with a dislike, and not just one dislike. There was at least 5 to 6 dislikes on every single video after my live stream. So, you know,
well, and the only thing you can bank on when people are doing that is whether or not they are actually watching at the minimum 30 seconds to get there.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was more they popped in, hit the button, and left. You know, and that's normally what happens with that. But the thing is for when you have a bigger channel, or you have a really good, I mean, not that I don't have a dedicated following, it's just I know that I have a bad habit of doing this as well. You kind of watch the video and you forget to hit the little thumbs up button in the bottom corner. You know, great for watch time. You know, I got a lot of decent watch time out of everybody's views. But when you don't have a large support in the like department, and you have somebody come along like that, and they just troll you with dislikes, it really, and I know I shouldn't take this personally, but it does really, affect your morale a little bit when, you know, you have 100, 200 views, you have, you know, 10, 15 likes, and then you have like 10 dislikes. And you know that they're not really people that follow your channel, or they're not really, well, I think mine actually are following my channel, but not for supporting reasons. But, you know, when you have that ratio of like to dislike, and you're a smaller channel, you don't have a whole lot of input, or I'm not trying to figure out the word I'm going to say. You don't have a whole lot of that real broad range support. You have your core supporters, you know, there's people that are always watching your videos, that, you know, but you don't have that expanded support of just the random people that pop in and hit the like button. That high dislike, especially when you have something like TubeBuddy that tells you, hey, this video has a high dislike compared to you know, view ratio or whatever, you know, it kind of hits you in the gut a little bit. I mean, I don't know if you've had a problem with that, Jason, or not.
Well, I haven't, but I have a couple of trolls that are hitting mine. Like if you roll through back on my last dozen or more videos over the last month or so, every video has 2 thumbs down. So that tells me it's the same 2 people or the same one person with 2 accounts.
Yeah, I think mine are multiple accounts, same person.
Yeah, so I mean, there's 2 ways of looking at it, and one of them is, yeah, you can get down on yourself, you can get all butt hurt and this and that. The other way to look at it is, you know what? People who are giving thumbs down are just that, trolls, even if they're watching your whole video. And it doesn't really matter because they, they're only helping your channel by giving you a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the fact of interaction. That's all YouTube's looking at. Yeah. If they're not getting the view, well, that's one thing. But at the end of the day, pay no attention to people who don't give you the time of day. It's like Facebook friends. How many Facebook friends do you walk by in your hometown that wouldn't even wave at you walking down the street? Yeah, they'll sit there and talk to you on Facebook. So don't put faith in people who aren't doing the same to you.
Right.
That's a real life thing. That's not a social media thing.
I do think. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
All I want to finish with is just when it comes right down to your likes and your dislikes, you're going to get it. And when we all start YouTube and we decide that we're going to move our channels and our channels start to grow and we start to get more interaction, that will come, and that'll come with the growth of your channel. And if you settle on the fact that you're getting so many thumbs down on every video, you got to put it where it is. People are just going to troll. People are going to hate. Ignore it, because focus on what you're doing and focus on what's growing your channel.
I think this is a good spot to plug in your ending thing right there. Focus on the windshield.
Yeah, absolutely. And I choose to end every video with that. Focus on the windshield, not the rearview mirror, because you cannot change what's behind you.
Nope.
Focus on moving forward.
Yeah, and that applies to this like and dislike as well. If I focus on the negative, which would be the rearview mirror, then I'm not focusing on the people that are supporting me and that are giving me that that support to keep moving forward. I think Z Outlaw has almost commented on almost every single one of my videos since he started watching my channel. You got Nikolai. I mean, geez, he's just a kid, and I had to support him because he had some negative followers on his last video, the video where he came to my came and checked out my shop with me. And it's the same thing, and it's what we all have to do with each other, because sometimes we get stuck in the negative and we don't necessarily, even though we know the positive is there, we just focus on that one thing that's bothering us instead of looking at the big picture.
Yeah, and I think I seen somebody in the chat there say that they've never given a thumbs down. I think it was Dick Skinner. And you know what? I'm with him as well on that. I don't give people thumbs down, especially being on the receiving end as being a video creator. I know how detrimental that can be to some people if they're not, if they're not looking at the big picture. The big picture is move on.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot more bigger fish to fry.
I can see if you give a thumbs down. If you really don't like a video and you want to give it that thumbs down, leave a comment as to why. If you're going to give a thumbs down, there's nothing wrong with actually giving a thumbs down, because not everybody's in agreement with everything. And I'm not necessarily in agreements with the, everybody wins a trophy kind of thing, or participation award or whatever. I'm not necessarily in that crowd either. But if you're going to thumbs down or whatever, leave a constructive comment, so that way somebody can improve. If you don't like something about something, explain yourself why. If you don't like the video, why? Was the audio crappy? Was the editing, did something bother you about what's in the video? If you leave a comment why, maybe they might improve and you may end up enjoying the videos down the road. Then you're helping to build and help that person grow instead of just putting them down.
Yeah, and something that I've started doing a little bit in when I'm ending my videos is I have no problem. Some people will say, well, don't even acknowledge it. And I have no problem acknowledging it. And I'll say, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And for those of you who don't like it, who might be communists and give it a thumb down, then hey, power to you.
Oh, but I think I have a solution for this video. I'm not sure how many people have hit the like or dislike button on this video. But you know what? Everybody in this chat, I want you to hit the dislike button. We're just going to spam this whole video with dislikes. Because that way when the trolls come in here, I don't have a one side or the other. Because everybody's a dislike. I don't know if it makes sense or not, but, you know, at least that's my way of literally circumcising, well, not circumcising, what is the word I'm looking for? Castrating their power. You know, because if every interaction was a dislike, then they have I don't have nothing to compare it to. So I don't know. That's just my little humor to it. I think that you know, we'll just beat them at their own system. Everybody will just hit the dislike.
Well, for the record, I just gave you your first one. So
you gave me my first dislike?
Yeah.
All right, that works. All right, everybody, smash that dislike button.
Oh.
When was the last time you ever heard a YouTuber say that?
Yeah, I know, right? Screw that system.
I know, right? All right, I want to come back here, and I know that we got George Allen in the chat. I know he came from the Rust Belt Mechanic channel. Dick Skinner's shop and Snap on Tues. I know he came from the Rust Belt because I saw him in there. Not sure if Grim Auto Service was from there or not. Classic Ride Society. He's been a long time follower of this channel. Firebird Nation and Car Club. Now that's a new YouTube channel. What?
He lies.
Who lies?
There's only one dislike on your video right now, and that bitch is me.
Uh-oh, Jess says, well, maybe you have to refresh the page, maybe.
I just put it up. Now there's 3 of them.
There you go. Anyway, so we have Firebird Nation Car Club. Now, that's my buddy Chris. You've seen him in my live streams before. We actually tried to get him in the one last week, and we couldn't get his computer going right. This is his new car. Well, it's not his new car club. This has been his car club for a while, Firebird Nation Car Club. But this is his new YouTube channel for it. We got Burning Rubber Garage. He's also been in here for a long time. Let's see who else we got in here. We can't forget Stupid Fast. He's a local boy to me. He's got the Banshee that he's working on. This is Formula. That's Chris's better half. Let's see. Anybody else other here that I'm missing? 4am Caper. He's been following me for a little bit, at least most of the live streams. Can't forget Jess. She's definitely my better half. Mr. Something Basic. I think that's everyone. Did I miss anybody, Jason?
I don't think so, because I was watching everybody come in there, and I think you got them all.
Alrighty.
Ms. Formula One.
Yeah, I got Miss Formula. That's Chris's better half.
Yeah, I think we got her.
We've got everybody. And I see Mr. Something Basic is letting the bald eagles fly. Stupid Fast is editing. Well, I should be editing, but you know, the live stream actually gets me more well, not ad revenue, because it doesn't really produce a lot of ad revenue, but it definitely produces a lot of interactions and views. Yeah, I do have all of that. I went up to the Lehigh Cars and Coffee season opener this year. Yeah, that was getting up at 5:30 in the morning, and I didn't think I went to bed till 2, so that's like 3 hours of sleep. And it's about 45 minutes to an hour away from me. So yeah, that was fun. There was a pretty good turnout considering the threat of rain that we were getting today, and it actually did drizzle my whole way up there. We got up to Allentown, and it was clear the whole time I was there, which was about 2.5 hours, and then I came home. But there were some really nice cars up there. There was definitely like a 79 to 81 Trans Am with the 77, 78 front nose. And that was definitely a worked car. There was a lot done to that car, but still retained the not Aurora. It still pertained that Bandit look and feel, even though there was a lot of mods done to it. And yeah, that's definitely support you guys supporting each other, but don't just subscribe to somebody for subscribing's sake. If you're going to subscribe to somebody, at least make sure that you actually enjoy their content, because if you're just subscribing and you're not interacting, watching, and all of that on a regular basis, you don't really help anybody. I'm sure we all have that empty following where we have, you know, you have a certain bit of subscribers that aren't actually, you know, you're not meeting the amount of views to subscribers that you have. I know I have that problem, and you know, it does kind of suck when you say, oh, I have 1,300 subscribers, but yet you're only getting 200 to 500 views on your videos when you put them out. It's like, well, where's the rest of you at? You know, you see the cricket, the cricket tumbling across the screen, and you see the crickets chirping and the tumbleweed tumbling across the screen. New hybrid.
Well, and the YouTube figure for that is usually it's like 10 to 15% of your subscriber base are faithful watchers. That's not the rule. That's just generally the generality of what it is. So, for instance, if you've got 1,000 subscribers and you're getting 100 views or 150 views per video, that's normal.
Yeah.
Some videos are going to get more, some are going to get less.
Well, yeah, and that's the same thing with me. It's like, you know, I have a lot of people that I'm subscribed to. I obviously can't watch every single video of every single subscriber I'm subscribed to, especially when you put out a video every day. Now, there are some channels that I'm more dedicated to watching every time they put out a video because, I don't know, it's just ones I'm interested in. There's some other ones where I watch the videos that I am interested in and don't watch the videos that I'm not interested in. There's some channels that I followed because of a specific build. So every time they put out a video for that build, I'll watch that video. I may not watch the video on some of the other stuff that they do because it doesn't interest me. And I think everybody has those channels. But if I do subscribe to your channel, most likely I have watched at least one, if not more, of your videos. Or you're just on that back burner list waiting for me to be able to get to you. I have a few channels where I haven't watched their videos yet because they haven't caught up on the videos that I've already wanted to watch.
Yeah, and Walt says that most of his views are non-subscribers, and I just checked mine on my phone, and it says 58.4% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel.
You're doing way better than I am.
But that's in the last 365 days. That's not just
okay. Well,
I go back.
365.
If I go back to the last 4 weeks, it's like 72%.
All right, last 365 days, 97% of my views are non-subscribers. Only 2.5% of my views are subscriptions. But now, then again, you also got to think in the last 365 days, I've had 255,000 views. So that's still a pretty big chunk of views from my subscriber base. It's just because of the nature of my channel, most of my views are from people that look up a certain thing, watch that video, and then they don't have any interest in the rest of my content because they were looking up the how-to stuff, which is where I originally started anyway, was how-to stuff. And if you know, I mean, and me being on YouTube as long as I have, I've gone through the transition of what YouTube was to what it is now. You know, YouTube used to be a place where, you know, your videos were one and done. You know, you didn't necessarily, you know, make a vlog or you know, like a day-to-day video thing. You know, it was a place to share your music covers, your how-tos, you know, this is me making a piece of artwork. You know, that's what YouTube used to be. And now YouTube is more of the vlog, watch my life kind of thing. And so when you switch from one type of content to another, you know, I still do my how-to stuff. The problem with how-to stuff is it doesn't get you subscribers. You get a lot of views. I mean, like, my views are insane for the amount of subscribers that I have. You know, my watch minutes and my views. I mean, I have over 18,000 watch minutes, 18,000 watch hours. You know, that's a lot. You know, I could take a hiatus for a while and I'd still be good. In fact, probably my videos that are doing okay would probably carry me through. I could disappear for a couple months. Not that I'm going to. you know, I have one video of, and it is just a stupid hack. I mean, it's not something, it's not the most recommended way to do something, but if you don't have the right tools and this is what you have, this works. And it's a video of, you know, the little door spring that's in your hinges of your cars. A way to get that in your car if you don't have one of those door spring tools. It cost me 3 zip ties to make. You realize how much money that video has made me? I could buy all of the zip ties in Harbor Freight in the state.
So Stupid Fast just made a good comment, and he's 100% right, saying that there's the science behind posting a video and making it appeal is titles, pics, keywords, search engine optimization. It's all about tagging and descriptions and all that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I am no good at any of that. I mean, I can make an interesting looking thumbnail. Can I make it the best it possibly could be? Probably not. You know, my passion is not necessarily in the creating of the videos and putting them up.
Hey, Steve.
My passion is in actually doing the work. You know, I actually enjoy working on the cars. That's what I actually do. And this was just my way of originally it was just my way of documenting my own progress. You know, because there's a place where I can have a catalog of videos to go look back on and say, this is what I've done and this is where I've come from. And then it turned into, oh my God, other people want to watch this too. You know, and that's where it is. I mean, I don't necessarily make videos to make money. Yes, I am enjoying making money. And you have a visitor, Jason, and it just left. But anyway, I definitely am not gonna, you know, punch the gift horse in the mouth. You know, if it's gonna help me make some money to help recoup what I'm doing or help me move my builds along faster, then yeah, I'm going to do what I need to do. I mean, and that's where you become the slave to the process. You know, I'm not going to be able to make money off of this and to be able to continue to do progress on my builds, because I live paycheck to paycheck. So any money that I put into my cars is really actually coming from, you know, bits and pieces where I can pull it from. So this is one place that helps me be able to do that.
Well, when I first started doing YouTube, it was solely for the fun of it. And it wasn't until it really took off and started gaining some traction that I realized, you know, there's an opportunity for me to make a couple of dollars here. And I'm not looking at it to make a fortune. I'm not looking at it to, you know, quit my job and be totally 100% YouTube. But even if I was making a couple $100 extra a month, then that's something that's going to allow me to put back into the channel and have some ability to produce better content. And I wanted to say that to segue into the fact that I just crested 3,500 watch hours over the last 365 today. So I'm less than 500 hours away from being monetized on my channel.
Yeah, you're gonna get quite
for all you guys. Yeah, and I think so. But I mean, you know, all you guys who you know, who are supporting my channel, you know, make sure you are watching them, because it's those watch time that helps every YouTuber gain traction and grow the channel.
I mean, and the other thing is you know, if you look at my stats, you know what a CPM is. I think most of the people in here that have a YouTube channel know what a CPM is. If you look at things like what's the company that keeps track of all the YouTuber stats? I have it on my phone, but I'm not.
TubeBuddy?
No, not that one. The other one. Social Blade. They average that your CPM is between $1 to $4 per CPM, right? Mm-hmm. Now that's well and great. Now I don't know if I'm just doing something right or what, but my CPM is like close to 8. So yeah, I'm not making stupid amount of money, but for the little bit of views that I have, it's at least maximizing the amount of money that I get out of it. And that is also a lot. You know, I mean, you guys are just now getting to the point to where you're monetized. I've been at this now for 4 years. I think I've been monetized, 3 or 4 years. I almost became demonetized when they pulled their little stunt like a year ago. Um, but the thing is there's also a lot more involved than just doing the titles, tags, and and thumbnail and all that. It's getting your settings right for your monetization and your views, and it's knowing where to place ads and when to place ads, because depending on where and when you place ads, you can actually turn your viewers away. They'll get to the ad and then they'll leave, or you know what I mean. And or you know, the other thing is there's just different things that you need to do in your settings. You know, you got to go through your advanced settings, because the base settings aren't going to help you out much. They're good for when you're trying to get up to the point to where you are monetized. But once you are monetized, there's a lot of wasted views, I would say. There's a lot of views that don't go monetized because of people watching on unmonetized platforms, different things like that. You have different websites that will actually piggyback your views. They'll display your video on their webpage with a link, but you won't get the ad revenue from it. You know, there's different things that go on that you have to make sure that you do, so that way you may lose some of your views, but most of the time, if there's somebody that really wants to watch the video, they'll go to a monetized player to watch it. And yes, you're right. The flow of your video is also it, because if you know, I have a problem with that, mainly because I don't sit down and plan out my videos ahead of time. I literally just do the work, film it as I'm doing it, and then come back. And if you, the hardest part about editing a video that you don't plan is getting rid of dead space. You know, just something where, yeah, while you were doing it, it was interesting, but watching it afterwards, it's like, man, this is dragging on forever. You know, sanding, grinding, different things like that, welding. You can make it interesting, but if you do nothing to it, you do no editing to it at all, and just put it up there, it can get boring to watch. You know, and just you got to learn how to edit out the dead airspace. You know, when you're talking, if you have a lot of quiet space in between your sentences and your words, you know, it can call it, that's where people can want to leave or skip through.
Yeah, or you can piggyback off of the success of somebody else and have bad editing skills. And I'm not going to mention any names, but there's some people out there who live in Pennsylvania who don't know how to edit very well, but because their association with bigger channels, they're very successful.
Now, you wouldn't be talking about a certain
no
underdog that I like, Dario, because
hey,
because I don't really care about his lack of editing, because his content is good.
I love his channel, I do, and yes, Hammer Down No Motorsports knows exactly who we're talking about, but I love his channel. I've been following since 3,000 subscribers, and him and I actually, we talk on we text back and forth quite regularly still. And you know, if his channel, he could succeed so much more in his channel if he would learn just some really simple editing skills, and learn to cut certain things out versus saying the same thing over 3 times. You know, to get the thing going.
Defense, though, he is a single dad of 3 kids.
I get it.
And I've seen where he's edited and things like that. When you're editing in the driver's seat of your car while supporting your kids at their sporting event, you know, and you're doing it. I mean, I don't think he has the fancy software. I think he's basically using like Windows Movie Maker or whatever is stock on his laptop. And the thing is you know, he's sitting here trying to keep up with people that have this, and he doesn't. You know, so he's sitting here, and I mean, I already know he's basically on the borderline of not making it like every day. So I'm mad props. I mean, that's why I follow him, because he's me but bigger.
Well, like I said, and I get it, and I love him to death, and I follow him. I watch every single video. When the ads come on, for a while, I was even watching the ads.
Oh yeah.
You know, as ad revenue for him. And but like I said, you know, sometimes there's a case of Hammer Down Motorsports uses the term sugar daddy, and you know, and that would be where I would be afraid that if the sugar daddy ever left me, I may not have anything.
Right. But you know what? I think that even if everybody, if the sugar daddy left that person, I think that he'd still be okay. He may not be. He may, you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I like the dude. I mean, I've met him. I like his personality. I can relate to him, and I don't give a shit if it's editing. Because you know what? I watch a lot of people. Me being a car restoration guy, a lot of the people that I watch are older gentlemen that are restoring these cars now that they're retired, and they come from the past of YouTube where literally every video uploaded was one take. So basically, you pulled out the camera, you filmed, and you uploaded. You didn't edit anything. You literally that's where I came from. When I first started, if you go back to my first videos, that's the way they are, because that's the way YouTube was. You didn't edit your videos to put them up. You know, you literally put them up as you filmed them, which you can't do that today. It's not going to work. Number one, YouTube wants longer videos to fill out the algorithm. And there's a whole bunch of other things that, you know, the reason why these short 1-2 minute videos don't work. But these people that I follow are literally struggling just to learn how to put their clips together in one long stream. But you know what? It is some great content if you want to learn how to do something, because these guys literally are showing you how to do what they're doing. Basically like apprenticeship. They are literally, you know, it's no fluff, none of that. Is literally straight on. This is what I did. This is how I did it. This is what I fucked up, you know, and this is how I'm going to fix it, you know. And I love those kind of videos. It's nothing fancy. I mean, literally, it's a dude holding a freaking camcorder in a badly lit garage showing you what they're doing. It's, you know, the do-it-yourself garage epitome.
Well, and so let's back up just for a split second to preface with, I have, like, my trip to Pennsylvania is not going to be just to hit Carlisle for the Carlisle Mopar show.
Right.
It's also to collaborate with guys like yourself. I do want to meet up with Steve Fast. I do want to meet up with Steve Freeman, and I do want to meet up with a couple of the boys in Ohio on my way home. Like, there's that sense of collaboration, which I do believe will help grow my channel. Yeah. But I also want to make sure that I'm still doing my thing, and that whatever it is I'm doing is the reason why people are tuning into me, not because of whatever else, right? It's all because of my efforts.
Yeah, your personality and your style is what makes your channel what it is. I mean, just like me, I have my style, I have my way of doing things. Is it as flashy as some other people? No. Is my editing the greatest? No, because you know what? I get frustrated. Right now I am using, what am I using? Not that one. Right now I am using Wondershare Femora. That's what I'm using. Put my thing back up here. So I am using Wondershare Femora, and you know what? I have some really frustrations with it. It is really hard for me to layer. Like, say I want to use 2 videos and I want to overlap them. Okay, either because I want to transition from one to the other and I want the other one to be underneath, or whatever it is. This thing has this thing where once I put it down into the second bar, I can't pick it up and move it and put it back up on like I could with my Windows Movie Maker or VLDC or whatever that one's called. You know, I could layer 10 videos and switch them all around wherever I wanted to, and it didn't give me a problem. This one does. Now, I pay for this one. I think I paid for this one. I think I paid for it, yeah. Because I don't think I have the free version. Anyway, so every editing software also has its limitations. I mean, sure, I wish I could afford, actually, it's not that I can't afford it. This computer won't run it. that one that Pete from Camaro Time uses. He has all those tutorials all those Cheerios. No, tutorials on. Sorry, I had to. It's my way of getting past being stuck on a word. It has all of those tutorials on how to use that software. Now, some of that stuff actually conveys over to the Wondershare. I can do some of the same things. May not be identical to the way he does it on his, but I can mimic it on my software. You know, I get frustrated. I get frustrated with the finding music that fits what I'm looking for, because like I'll have a song in my head, but it's a copyrighted song. So then it's like, well, where can I get that same feel and that same vibe from, you know, Creative Commons, you know, side of things? And I get frustrated, and then I you know, sometimes I'll cut corners, or we'll just like say, you know what, screw it, and just put it together, put it up. So I mean, everybody has their own style and the way that they do things, and some of it has to do with skill. Some of it has to do with actually their just attitude and their style, and sometimes it has to do with time. You know, some people, if you're putting it up every day, you know, either some of these guys have teams that do it for them. All they do is sit in front of the camera, and somebody else either films it, or maybe they might film it themselves and then pass the footage off to somebody else. It's just a 6. He doesn't edit his own videos. He's got a whole team to edit his videos. You got.
I have a hard time watching him anyway.
I like his content. Yes, his laugh sometimes gets annoying. Mike, he does edit his own videos. I know he does. Steve, I guarantee you, he edits his own videos.
Yeah.
You know, Z Outlaw. Oh my God, he's a great editor, and he edits his own videos. But I know there's a lot of them on there that if you watch them, they don't edit their own videos. You can tell they don't. And yeah, their videos are great, but you know, it's not their skill, it's the editing that put it up there. They got a team behind them. A lot of us, just us. And a lot of us aren't necessarily into this because we're great at editing. No, I'm great at working on cars. I'm great at customizing stuff. I'm great at working with my hands and making stuff. Whether it's, you know, artwork, paper and pen, or wood or metal, or, you know, whatever. Editing, not my thing. I get frustrated with it too easy. It drives me nuts. I don't get how to do all the fancy stuff and the layering and all of that. And honestly, with the views that I get and the amount of on that stuff, because that stuff takes a lot more time than these live streams. You know, you take a 10-minute video, and when it takes you anywhere from 3 to 6 to 10 hours to get it really, really to where you like it, and then you get 100 views. You know, you take the amount of time that you put into it versus the amount of what you get out of it, and you can see where the frustration happens.
Well, I'm just reading what Steve just wrote. He says he truly loves filmmaking. He never did it before YouTube, and I'm the same way. I didn't either, and I'm having a blast with it. But on that note, it is 10:30. It's 20 to 11 my time. And,
oh wow, you've actually been here longer than you normally do.
Yeah, when I said I was going to stick around for 20 minutes, we got a good topic of conversation going there.
And that's anyways, the way how this is all supposed to be. I mean, it's supposed to be, you know, you're supposed, and that's how YouTube's supposed to be. You're supposed to lose yourself in it. You're supposed to lose yourself in the time, and that's how you end up getting people to spend a lot of time on your channel, is to keep their interest like this.
Yeah. So anyways, having said that, I am going to cut it out from here, guys. Thanks for having me on here, and thanks for the great conversation in the chat.
Yep, always a pleasure. Let's see. I gotta get back to paying attention to the chat, because I have ADD moments and I just get into the conversation. Bye bye, Jason. Anyway, so let's see. No computer editing. And I agree with you, Steve. I do enjoy making the videos, at least filming them, and I like expressing myself to you guys. I just get frustrated trying to do the fancier edits. I don't mind cutting and splicing and cutting out all the the filler and the boring stuff. But I do get frustrated trying to recreate some of the cool stuff that I see. Either A, because the software I have just doesn't have it, or I don't have the knowledge, or I don't have the knowledge to be able to reproduce some of the content that I see. You have a song in your head, huh? You're supposed to be doing your schoolwork.
I am.
Doing her schoolwork and watching my live stream. Dedication.
No,
She just rolled her eyes.
Constantly. I just pop in when I want to make a comment.
Oh, she's just popping in when she wants to make a comment. And she doesn't have to listen because I'm right here. But anyway, so
Play the songs because
yeah, the YouTube sucks, doesn't it? Yeah. Get Jess in the video. I don't think Jess is YouTube ready right now. Are you? Because Steve just asked, he said I should get you on the stream. She got homework to do. She a college girl. No, she's the type of college girl that can sit in her jammies and freaking do her schoolwork from home. But no, I got crap on my computer. But anyway, is there anybody in the chat right now that would like to pop on live with me? I do much better when I have someone to talk to face to face. Just let me know. Anyway, where was I? Did you try to? No, I have not tried the ginger ale and Jack yet. Nope. LOL, put your dynamic in. Put my dynamic. But see, the problem is when I'm at the shop, she's at work. So it's kind of hard to put that dynamic in because she doesn't join me in the shop because it's a little further away. My shop is not connected to my home, unfortunately. That is something we forgot to do. We are 43 minutes into the stream, and I have not done what is your beverage choice today. All right, so mine, I'll give you one guess. If it is this color and it is beer, what am I drinking? There's nothing really to vlog at home, Steve. Though there is something. If you watch my Instagram, you notice that I am working on a side project. I'm actually working on two. I still have to finish the jewelry cabinet, which I've still got to talk to the vinyl company to make my pattern for the one door that I need to finish. And I have started working on a 1960s cedar chest. And Mrs. Formula has got the correct answer. Well, Steve actually technically got the correct answer first because there is only one logger if you're from Pennsylvania. Let's see, had a young kid help me with editing, and then he took my stuff home, and 4 months later, I finally get it back. Hope to start posting against it. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I tend to do my own editing, though I would love to work with somebody to create like a what do they call it? A channel advertisement that you put that goes on your page for new subscribers. And I'd like to be able to create some new intros and outros, but I have nowhere near where to start. 4IM Caper has a t-shirt contest going on his channel. If you haven't checked that out. We have GearTube TV, welcome aboard, and Yingling Locker is the correct answer. What are you guys drinking, or should I say, what is your beverage of choice tonight? Let's see, it looks like Hammerdown is Seagram's and Canadian Club. 4IM Caper is drinking Coors Light, and I'm not sure. Dick Skinner, all you need to have is Google Hangouts with a webcam. That is all I need, and then all I need to do is be able to send you a link to the Google Hangouts conference call. And that's right, Chris, we did forget to set that up. I was busy this week. I'm sorry. Let's see. Pale Ale or Pale L? I think he meant Pale. Mitch Ultra. Bud Light again. I'm not a fan of any of the Budweisers. They give me migraines. Root beer works. One of my favorites. Now, what type of root beer? Because you got Stewart's, you got Barks, you got A&W. There's IBR. Evan Williams, Honey on the Rocks. Well, that sounds good. Beverage of choice is different than what I am drinking. No, the beverage of choice is what are you drinking right now? That is your current beverage to be drinking. Agreed. Of course, any Budweiser product is headache in a can. Hawaiian Punch, man. You know what? I was drinking Hawaiian Punch and I was spiking it with a little bit of this, even though this is empty. So I need more connections to get me some more North Carolina spring water. Iced tea. Barks, that is one of my favorite root beers, though. If I have a choice, Stewart's is definitely number one if I can find it. Mountain Lightning Dew. That's the knockoff Lightning. Mountain Dew. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that one. I don't like the overall taste there. Spicy Caesar. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get down to North Carolina in the end of May, though, Steve. I might have to have you bring some back up. If we can find a certain one of our female friends that lives down that way, that'd definitely be a much help. Jack Daniel's honey is cheaper. That is pretty good too. Give me a week or so, and I got hacked pretty bad last week and had to surrender all of my computers to the police. So all I have is that sucks. New Serpentine Belt, new fuel lines, oil change this weekend. Damn, you're busy, Gear Tube. I plan on being out to the car again this week. If you saw my last video, I am trying to get at least the engine bay and all that buttoned up so I can get the car out of the garage. I really want to get the truck in the shop. And I'm also putting off applying for the Sniper EFI unit because I'm afraid that I'm not going to get approved for the loan, which is that's I should just bite the bullet and just go apply and see where it is, but I don't know if I want to know the answer to that. I think she'll be at Kalot Motorsports Park. I think that's one of her places to be when you guys are down there. Just saying. I think that's the track that's near her is the Gallant Motorsports Park, which is, I think, where you're going. What do I have? Okay, never mind. Oh, strawberry ale is very good. You know what I like? Some strawberry moonshine. But I'm not sure if you guys, I think you guys have been following this for a little while, but I am trying to get the new Sniper EFI's Quadrajet standalone fuel system, but it's like $1,500. And yeah, I don't have that kind of cash laying around, but I do believe that would be a very good way to get my TA driving this summer. I after being at the first Cars and Coffee in Lehigh Valley, I really want to get my car up there. I want to go cruising again. And I'm just trying to get there. That being said, I do have a Teespring store and some other things. The link should be down in the description if you want to help support the channel and help me get me to where I want to get. Yeah, I would really like to get my car rolling again, but like I said, it's money. I either need to rebuild the carburetor or get this EFI system, and I think the EFI system is going to be a much better choice in the long run. Obviously, it's not the cheapest in the short run. Yeah, that price is very tough to bite. I can't bring the TA to Maple Grove if it is not running, Steve. Though it is running on the carburetor it is on, it will not. It's not. Yeah, the carburetor doesn't have enough CFM for street use, especially not for racing. Yeah, that's the when it is the question, because like I said, it depends on money and time. What engine do I have? It is a 76 Pontiac 400. 76 Pontiac 400 with a Ram Air 3 cam. It's bored 30 over, and the heads are shaved 30. The stock carb for that engine is a 750 actually. Which the carb that I'm running on it right now is a 650 Eldebrock. That probably needs to be tuned as well. I did tinker with it a little bit in the last time I was up there. Got it running okay, but again, the problem is as soon as you get on the throttle, it wants to choke it out. It's not able to, for some reason, either it's not getting enough fuel or it's not getting enough air. As soon as you bring it up on the higher RPMs, and it starts breaking up. Runs fine at idle. It runs fine when you blip it, but if you're actually getting on it, like when I got on it on the street, it falls on its face. So yeah, with the car, I got to put the interior back together, which means changing a few things. I got to change the driver's side door. I need to put all new weather seals on it. A lot of it is finding all the bits and pieces because I've moved like 3 times since I've had this car apart. So it's a matter of hunting down where I put everything, and everything's been moved. I'm definitely gonna have to put the stock seats back in it because the red ones aren't done because the sewing machine that I have couldn't keep up with what I was trying to get it to do. So the seats are half finished. But yeah, put the front end back together. I got to get the heater, the blower motor working with the heater controls because I definitely need that to get the car inspected. I need to fix the rear sway bar. One of the end links is busted. I got a laundry list of stuff that needs to do. Yeah, but the problem is like you said, Westy is quite a busy man right now, and I don't know if I can afford to have Westy rebuild my carburetor. But that's my own problem, and I can't run the Eldebrock on my car anyway because I can't run the air cleaner then, and I'm not cutting up that air cleaner, and I'm not fastening my shaker to the underside of the hood either. That is one of my biggest pet peeves with people with these Trans Ams is when they fasten the air cleaner to the underside of the hood. It kind of defeats the whole purpose of the shaker to begin with. Plus it sits up way too high then. And just, I don't know, it irks me every time I see it. It's like a little pet peeve, a little itch in the back of my throat that just won't go away. What, the itch in the back of my throat? Yeah, that's when I find LSs underneath of the hoods of these Trans Ams with the shaker glued to the underside of the hood. Ugh. I'm not saying everybody should leave the Pontiac under the hood, but still, at least find some way to mount the shaker back on top of the engine. All right, see you later, Caper. I think maybe Steve, maybe you should come up here and come help me with the car. Help me knock out some of this to-do list because I'm not sure if you saw the piece of cardboard that I had in the last video, but it's quite a list. Any interesting work stories? Oh, me? Besides hurting my shoulder trying to catch a client that decided to ragdoll on me, I can't really talk a whole lot about work because of HIPAA, but yeah, this still hurts. Hell, my to-do list requires a shop to do it all. I just require a shop. I mean, the garage I'm working in I'm definitely grateful for having the roof over its head, so that way I'm not working in the rain sometimes. But space is definitely lacking in that garage at the moment. It's getting quite crowded in there. Definitely envious of your current situation there, Hammerdown. You definitely. I would love to have your list of problems. But you know, we'll get there eventually. I mean, I'm not complaining about where I'm at. It's just where I'm at is not the same place as where you're at. Definitely better than where I was at a year ago. Well, actually, no, a year ago I am in the same place. All right, 2 years ago. Definitely in a better place than I was 2 years old. 2 years ago, working on a gravel driveway out in the weather. So yes, it is lots of work to finish it, but you know what? It's lots of work and lots of YouTube content as well. You know, I mean, just every progress you make is, you know, is definitely more content. Granted, it may not be car content, but yeah, definitely. I don't have any goat issues now. What do you use to make your hair stand up like that?
The person sitting on the couch.
Yes, this and my girlfriend. That's what I use to get my hair to stand up. But yeah, and it's not completely hard as a rock either. Some people seem to think that it's gonna be like, you know, like touching an actual blade or something. It's not. It's soft. I can't do that too much, but I can do it a little bit. Oh my God, the goats must die. No annoying goats. Well, unless they're a Pontiac goat. I'll take a Pontiac goat. GTO. Definitely, I would take a GTO. If that was my goat problem, I think I'd be happy. I have no idea. Oh boy. Oh, you know what, Steve? That was gross. I know exactly where you just went with that. I have to get up early for work. I'll watch the rest of it tomorrow. Have fun, guys. You guys got to watch the end of last week's live stream. That was hilarious. Was it an old school GTO or a newer one? I can't believe Chris and stuff didn't show up. And maybe I'll have a few guests here in a minute. Hold on. Otherwise, we might end up having a short live stream tonight. Oh, a newer with the LS2. Those are sweet, though. I don't know if I would necessarily call them GTOs, but they are definitely a sweet car. They definitely were very much, what is it, underrated, or they weren't given the credit they were due. I mean, in the time that they came out, to have a rear-wheel drive V8 is that, and the SS's. Those were really nice too. I mean, I don't think I would have knocked them if I had one. You know, you can think about it. You know, it's an LS V8. I mean, it's a V8 rear-wheel drive car with today's technology. You know, those can make 400 to 600 horsepower naturally aspirated, and in such a small car. I mean, that thing's got to be a monster when you push it. That it was, Chris. It was definitely epic. Between Mrs. Formula and Jess and everyone that was in here at the end of that night, that was definitely a hoot. I like is it the 69? What's the GTO with the twin headlights stacked on top of each other? That happens to be my favorite. That happens to be my favorite GTO. Not that I don't like the Enduro bumper GTOs, or like the one that Rambling Around with the one that he's doing for his board build. Those are nice as well. Red Armstrong, I am from Pennsylvania. The Hideaway. But no, not the side by side. I like the ones that are stacked on top of each other. I think they're the earlier ones. I think those are what, 67s, 66, 67. That's what I thought. Especially the one that they had in XXX with that purple paint scheme. That car was really, really, really sick. Though pretty much I like the pale blue that they came in. That was a pretty color as well. So yeah, are you okay over there? You made a crash.
Oh, okay.
Okay, she's okay. Nothing.
What?
Yes, the tri-power wide. I think they called them the wide track. You know, big fancy term. Yeah, the DSM-5.
Yeah.
Girlfriend's studying for behavioral health, so she gets to play with the DSM-5. If any of you guys know what that is, it is the official diagnosed book for all of mental disorders.
That is my favorite.
She uses it for light reading. I've never. Is tri-power? Is that the 3 carbs, right? The 3. I'm not sure if they were dual port or single port. Well, welcome, welcome, fellow Pennsylvanian. I've been out I've been out by Pittsburgh once, and it was on my way out to Dayton, Ohio, for the Trans Am Nationals. 3.2 barrel. So that's like the 6-pack, or the Mopar had one like that too. Not one for all of their terminology. Damn, I need to get somebody else up here. I'm running out of beer, and I don't want to leave you guys. That's okay. I can't talk tonight either, so. You missed it at the very beginning of my live stream. I was all tongue-tied. I couldn't even say my own name right. Dual quads. I think they had a 3 dual carb setup also. Because I think they called it this. Not this. Was it the 6-pack? I think they called it the 6-pack or something. You're gonna make me do some Googling research. Oh, let's see. Because yeah, that's what it is. It's the 6-pack. Because here it is. Well, actually, this would be FitTech's version of it. That's tri-power. I don't think. Did they call it the Scat Pack? I don't think they called it the Scat Pack. Where is it? They used to have it on one of my car models. Okay, maybe it was the Scat Pack. This morning was not a good time for the dart, but you know what? Later in the night would have been a really nice time to do that. Yeah, there it is here. Oh, where am I going? It's that old focus. We'll focus on my face. Of course, it's not going to focus, is it? But anyway, yeah. What show did you go to today, Steve? Can't wait to start my 63 Chevy LS swap with twin turbos. Oh my, that's going to be nice. All right, see you later, Red. Hope maybe I'll see you again next week. Thank you for joining us. And I do believe I have a couple people showing up here after 10. We'll see. Sorry, I'm just checking my notifications here. Oh, South Beaver. I was up at, like I said, I was up at the Lehigh Valley Cars and Coffee. That was a pretty cool show. Lots of neat, interesting cars. There was actually a lot more muscle cars in there than I thought it was. Than I thought was going to be there. Now, see, Steve, you should have came up to Lehigh Valley, the steel stacks, man. They had the main lot filled, and then they had at least 3 of the sub lots filled when I went up there. So yeah, and I was up there. Oh, okay. I was up there at definitely be like 6:50, 7 o'clock a.m. I got up there and I was there till around 9. I don't know. I enjoyed it as a spectator. I mean, obviously, I guess it might be different as a participant, but I definitely enjoyed the cars there as a spectator. Then again, it was my first one, so maybe my expectations are different than what yours were. I don't know. My car experiences are mainly small town, center park deals. A bunch of old people with classic muscle, which is well and great. I love classic muscle, but it's nice to see some of these higher end cars that I don't get to check out much. Yeah, the Kia was parked in one of the lots mainly because I didn't know where the hell to park, and that's where they stuffed me, so that's where I sat. I consider it modded with the front bumper makes it modded, right? It's customized. Now it's got that nice drift stitching in the front and the nice for Fox sake sticker on the back. It's customized. Yeah. I deserve to be parked with the Ferraris, right? Maybe. Maybe not. No, I don't think so. But anyway, I don't really care. Honestly, I go up there to enjoy the cars, period. Anywhere I go, that's what I do. If they don't have designated spectator parking, I don't know what they want you to do, which is what I had trouble with. I don't think there is designated spectator parking up there, or if there is, I don't know where it was at. And I'm not parking the car on the street and walking 2 miles into the show either. That's ridiculous. So I mean, it is what it is. They're not going to have designated like sign up at the door, car show parking. Well, then, it's what you're going to have. You're going to have regular cars parking in with the show cars because it's basically a free for all. It's park where you can. I mean, yeah. I mean, a show that big with that many people, at what point though do you cut off a show car versus a regular car? Where do you make that difference? Where do you say this car is not customized but this one is, when you can drive a brand new Camaro in the lot that has nothing done to it, but you can have a modified 80s sedan that may be not as nice as the Camaro, but that's more customized. I mean, I don't where do you draw the line as what belongs on the show field and what doesn't? You know, because, you know, yeah, I'm that guy that thinks a brand new Camaro right off the showroom floor, I find them annoying at some of the car shows that I go to, because here you have somebody's classic car that they spend, you know, all this time and effort on, and the guy that, you know, is making payments on his brand new Camaro walks away with the trophy. Yeah, I enjoy seeing that brand new Camaro, but then again, I feel for the guy who has all that time and effort into the maybe not completely beautiful, but a lot more time and effort put into classic ride. I didn't have a run-in with the security. All I did was freaking move the barrier aside so I can get in. And that's all I had to, that's my run-in with security. That's all it was. Other than that, they didn't even bother me or the kids at all. And we have Alan with Revenge of the Apocalypse. I'm going to mess up your name. Revenge of the Apocalypse. And he's gone. I think that he said something. I think they had to reset something. And well, you know what? And you know, and I'm not sitting here siding with the people with the muddy 95 Chevy or the rust hold Hondas with duct tape. But you know what? Maybe to some people that rusted Honda with the duct tape bumpers, maybe that was done on purpose. Maybe that was part of their modifications. Alan, you need to mute the live stream. You know, again, it comes to the point of, I don't know, maybe you don't have the volume turned up in the Hangouts. The thing is it depends on what do you consider customized? What do you consider something that's modified?
No, here we go.
Yep, there you go. Technically, you know, duct taped bumpers is a modification. It may not be a modification to your taste, but you know, to the crowd that he's, you know, to himself and to the crowd that he's appealing to, maybe it is. Oh my God, that would be hilarious. I say do it, Steve. Bring the F-150 with the blown airbags. That you got to. That'd be hilarious. We're talking about he's frustrated with for Matt and Alan that just popped in. He's sitting here saying that he's frustrated because he got parked next to a Hyundai.
Oh man.
At the Cars and Coffee. Well, and the thing is what I was saying is you know, technically my Kia is modded. It's a stock Kia everywhere, but you know it's got my drift stitches on the front bumper. But no, what I was saying is I went up to the Lehigh Cars and Coffee this morning, and yeah, I came in the main entrance, and they directed me off to the left, and then the first lot that I can turn right in is where they put me. Now I wasn't showing the Kia, even though I don't really care if somebody were to see it. I just wish my freaking YouTube stickers were all over it if that was the case. But you know, I was just looking for somewhere to park, and that's where they stuck me. So you know, it's not always necessarily what you have a choice to park a regular car. But the other thing is they don't have anything designated as spectator parking either.
I went up there once last year. It was a torrential downpour. Like the weather was fine. I was checking it, and I went up there, and by the time I got up there, it was downpour. And when I drove in, it was kind of like there was a guy directing. It was kind of like go over, go this way.
Matt, is your audio on?
Yeah, see, I can hear him on the video I'm watching on my phone. I can hear him on that, but I can't hear him in here.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what we're hearing. We're hearing your phone, Alan. It's doing that feedback thing.
Because I have it like the chat part of it. I have all that muted.
The Hyundai was left overnight. No, do you know what? I have you beat on that one. Now, none of you guys were actually around when I had my TA on the road, and
Hi, Steve, by the way.
I drove it all the way out from. I was living in Robizonia at the time. Maybe some of you guys know where that is, but I drove all the way from Robizonia, which is a suburb of Reading, and drove it all the way out to Dayton, Ohio. They parked me when I went out to now that's an all Trans Am Firebird car show. Like literally it's all Pontiac Firebirds. There was a Hyundai next to me. Now this is in the Dayton, Ohio Hilton parking lot. They take up the Hilton parking lot, and I think the next parking lot over. That whole area. I mean, I have pictures of it somewhere, but in fact, actually, the drone picture that they have of that year, you can see the Honda sitting next to me. And yeah, it was the same scenario. It was parked there overnight. You know, it was actually there most of the weekend.
Wow.
And there's nothing they can do with it because they technically can't tow it because that technically is public parking, even though it was closed off for the hotel had it saved for an event. You know, they can't technically, they have no grounds to tow it with. You know, there's nothing that they can say, all right, you're parked illegally, because technically they're not. They're just.
See, I don't know though, because they do pay for the lot space. So wouldn't that give them the right?
The hotel might be, but again, you know, when you get your car towed from somewhere like that, they have to have a legitimate reason for towing it. They can't just tow it for, you know, for whatever's sake. Because if that person was a guest at the hotel, you know, then technically they have a right to be there.
Well, yeah, but they would have the hotel parking area though.
That is the hotel parking area. It literally is the front entryway of the hotel. The all the parking in front of the hotel is what that is. It was what the show is held in. You just gotta you have to be there to realize how they have it set up. Now, granted, like I said, halfway through the show it disappeared, but that show is also 3 days long. And they have you tend to park in the same spot every day. Let's see. Matt, you definitely have to do that smoke.
Yeah, that's gonna be Matt's Kitchen on the road.
All right. Well, you need to let me know when that is so I can like sneak on set.
No, I definitely want to do that during the summertime. That would be a lot of fun. So like when I was just on Greg's channel and I was talking about rescheduling my like birthday bash that I was going to do back in February before.
So a rain day?
Before my dumb ass fell down the steps and broke my rib.
That would be a rain date. That would be a nice date.
Yeah. So I'm thinking in the summertime, maybe July. I don't have anything as far as like big events. Carlisle's not. Corvettes at Carlisle's not till August. Cars for Critters in August. There's not a lot in July. So I'm thinking maybe that might be the month to do it.
All right. Well, like I said,
so same place, Dave & Buster's in Mechanicsburg. I'll look at some dates. Melanie and I, we're going on vacation in June. We're going up to visit her dad in New York. But yeah, July may be the best month for that. And along with what Steve was talking about, doing a cooking collab there. That would be a lot of fun.
Let's see. I'll get an update on your guys' channel here. Why don't we start with you, Matt? What you got going on?
Well, the last week and a half, I've been fighting bronchitis. So I was talking about it. Alan knows. I was talking about at Greg's that I had like 4 videos lined up for the week of.
There's no bronchitis, bronchitis vlog.
Oh God, I had no voice. I had literally no voice. I'm just now getting it.
You could.
Yeah, I could mime the whole thing. No, because that not last week, the week before I was gonna. I took that Friday off specifically because I had videos lined up. I was going to go to a beer distributor. A friend of mine owns a hair salon that I've done a video for them in the past. They opened up a sister location out in Lancaster, and then a local brewery had got in contact with me wanting to do one of my brew tours down in Shrewsbury. And then I was going to go to Centralia with JP Videos on that Saturday. All 4 videos scrapped.
Yeah, you don't get paid for sick days when you're a YouTuber.
That sucks. I wanted like all those videos I wanted to do, and I was on the verge of like diving into doing like 3 videos a week, because the week prior to that I had done 3 videos. I think it was like Thursday, Sunday, and then Tuesday. I had busted out videos, and I was like, I like this, using Premiere Pro. My workflow is
so I can start. So you mean I can start sending you my footage and you can edit it for me? Can we get some? Because my editing skills are nowhere near that notch.
But
I got a bunch of Cars and Coffee footage that I got today. I mean, if you maybe. No, I'm teasing him.
But it was so disappointing, because I was literally sitting there that Friday, and like the only thing I could do was watch TV.
You could
I couldn't speak. Like my voice was shot. It sucked.
You couldn't get back to my life. All right, so Alan, what do you got going on? I know you've had quite a few places that you visited over the last month that I've seen.
Oh yeah, I've done a lot of urban exploring into abandoned, whatever you want to call them. There's buildings, houses, whatever.
Derelicts, whatever.
Yeah. Also, a bit of ghost hunting now, finally, which is something I wanted to really kick into. I have a lot of different things scheduled out now, which is kind of crazy because I've never really had a schedule book for doing this kind of stuff. But now I'm finally at that stage, and I'm happy to announce that I am no longer buying any more car parts this year. I'm officially tapped out and done with that.
Oh no, that's not happy. That's sad,
dude. I did all new rims, the grill, hood pins, the rear deck panel for the trunk. Oh God, what else did I do? I know throttle body spacer.
Yeah, you know where I get my new car parts from? Junkyard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've easily put, I want to say just this year alone, I want to say at least put $4,000 just into mods for this thing.
Yeah,
so
I don't think
tapped out.
I don't think I spent $4,000 at all last year.
Yeah, I'm tapped out now. I might tint my windows. I'm thinking about doing window tint, but that's about it.
I have a meme that I keep posting on my Facebook, and it's Dory, and she goes, I no more car parts. I'm saving my money. Oh, look, car parts.
And ironically, I was on American Muscle today looking at more stuff, but I was like, no, can't do it. Stop doing it.
Honestly, like you guys is with car parts. With me, I go on Amazon. I'm looking at camera gear. I'm looking at lenses. I'm looking. Oh my God, I can't.
If you want to send some of that camera gear my way, it'd be great.
Oh.
Specifically, I'm looking for a Sony XR550R. It's about 10 years old, but you know what? It's like my favorite camera.
What is that? A camcorder?
Yeah, actually, 1080p, 250 gig hard. Actually, no, 500 gig internal hard drive with night vision.
Let's see. I've been using this one.
Yeah.
Say
I've seen that one.
991 has the night vision and everything. So this is what I use for doing the ghost hunting and everything like that.
Well, the reason why I like the one that I've been is number one, like I said, it's a $1,300 camera, new when it came out. Now obviously now it's only around between, you can find it between $200 and $500. But it has all of the hot shoot spots right on the camera.
This has that, yeah.
Right.
That's nice,
and
yeah.
it's one of the last cameras that have the internal hard drive.
Yeah.
So you're not playing. I don't have to sit there and play with memory cards and whatever. And
So
it's
you just literally plug the camera into your computer and just pull all the footage that way?
Yep. And you do, it does have SD card spots.
Right.
So like if you need more, you can stick a terabyte hard SD card in there and be done.
Right.
But it's so simple because literally there's nothing to it. You just take it and go. See if I can pull one up. I mean, they're really nice little cameras, and it's what I had. It's what I started. It's not what I started my channel with, but it's the first camera that I went out and bought dedicated for the channel.
Right.
I don't have it anymore. I lost it when I lost my GoPro, but the thing is I've been trying. I shouldn't say I've been trying. I've been watching for it. It just every time one comes up that's decent, it hasn't been at a time that I could buy one. I'm trying to find. There's actually the 550. There's the 500, the 520, and the 550. Each one. The only difference is hard drive space. The 500 has 120 gig, and then it goes up from there. Trying to find a decent picture of one.
Now, where is it that you're looking to buy it from? Is it on Amazon by chance?
No, eBay, because they don't sell them new anymore.
Mm.
So you're basically getting them secondhand.
Yeah, see, I don't know if eBay does it. I know Amazon does it. They allow you to use the A-firm, which is the that little like line of credit.
Yeah.
And that's how I've been getting all my stuff lately, just doing that and being able to make payments. Because
there's a couple of pictures of them on here, but they're really crappy. But yeah, I mean, I'll get it eventually. I mean, geez, up until Christmas, all I was using was my phones, and for Christmas, I was lucky that a family member got me that I don't even know how to say it. A Seiko.
Oh, the action camera.
Yeah, it looks like a GoPro. Fits all the GoPro stuff. That's what I've been filming with recently, other than my phones. And yes, it's not a GoPro, but for being able to quickly pull it out and start filming quickly, I like it. And it's smaller and discreeter than using my phone. I can set it down anywhere without worrying about it falling over.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm actually personally myself getting very frustrated with GoPro's crap lately. Honestly.
I had the GoPro Hero 4.
Oh yeah, after the 4, forget about it.
I think I'll go back to the 4s again, and hopefully the 4s go down enough in price.
I've ended up I sold my 6. I sold my GoPro drone. I got rid of that. I still have 2 7s, but the black works. The white one, it freezes, it glitches, it won't allow you to access your.
You got rid of the drone?
Yeah.
Why?
Because ever since I updated, now, are you aware that GoPro got rid of their whole drone team?
No.
Okay. GoPro is done with drones.
Why?
I don't know. They just
it seemed like something that was like majorly something to be,
Well, they canceled them. They got rid of the whole drone team. After that, there was an update, and every time I would try to fly in airspace that I've always flown it at, like even at the park over here, I would fly it just to play and
Yeah, you got a couple videos of it up at the park,
and it would literally lose connection and try to crash. And I did wreck it twice, and the one time I was like, you know what, I'm fed up with it. I bought the replacement parts for it. I fixed it. I put it up online. Ironically, a guy got a hold of me that wanted to buy it because that morning he crashed his. It just drifted and went. So I'm like, what happened? Did GoPro send out an update and it just bugged all of them to wipe them off the face of the earth? Because there is no explanation for why mine acted the way it did. at all.
I don't know. And that is one of the frustrating things is when you buy something and then you're dependent on updates. That's just like, this computer. I'm getting warnings now that, we will no longer be supporting Windows 7 as of January 2020.
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean? And they're pushing the Windows 10, systems. Does that mean that January 2020 that it's going to be like what happens with a lot of phones, where they just they cause them to run slow and crash and everything else, so you get frustrated with it and buy a new one?
Yep. And see, that's actually exactly the same thing that GoPro's doing, because like even my Fusion, the 360 one, I pulled that one out today. I paid $700 for it a year ago, and it's literally having issues trying to just turn on and record. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. I hardly ever use it. And honestly, I really think GoPro is too worried about making sales and having a new camera every year just to keep getting the revenue coming in that
instead
actually
of something that works. Because I don't think there was anything, other than which one is the one that has a really good stabilization?
That's the black, the 7 black.
The 7 black has got the hyper smooth.
And that's a really nice camera from what I've heard, right?
It's an amazing camera.
I have it sitting right up here. Yeah. It's a really good camera. The stabilization works wonders. It's completely phenomenal. The only problem is that as you use it, you'll start to notice that, if you swipe up to pull up your menus and things, it'll freeze. It'll just randomly die quick out of nowhere, which I have backup batteries, so I'm not worried about.
Yeah, I have 2 for my stupid little Xbox, but it goes through them in like 20 minutes.
But like they're great at first, and then all of a sudden there's just all these issues, and I really don't understand why. Like I don't even have a single scratch on this thing. It's in mint shape,
right?
And again, I'm having issues with them for no apparent reason.
See, that's different. Like mine, I haven't had. Like mine fell off the car at 60 miles an hour, and I didn't really have issues with it. But the one issue I'm having with the Hero 7 Black is the audio quality. Like I've vlogged with it, just for, shits and giggles, and it'll be clear, and then it'll go muffled, and then it will go clear, and then it will go muffled again, like I have something over my face like this, and then it will sound clear. That's the only real issue I've had with it.
Yeah. Matt, you got an echo going on your. I don't understand. I think it's you, unless it's me.
I heard Alan was echoing on my end.
Well, I don't know. I can hear the live stream in the background. That's all I can say. I don't know which one of who it's coming from, but anyway, I don't know. It's frustrating. I like this computer, and I don't want to sit here and have to scramble to find something new. Because we have Jess's other old laptop that does run on Windows 10, but the problem is that one's nowhere near as good as this one. It's like 5 or 6 years newer, but it doesn't. It's nowhere near as good as this one.
I just noticed that Ryan posted in the comments he thinks Mike uses the 4. No, he does use the 7 black. He actually got that when it came out, and
he has several of them. But he does have several Hero. He does have a Hero 4 or 2 as well. He has like 5 or 6 GoPros.
Yeah.
He started his channel with the Hero 4 Silver.
Right.
And then he went to the 6, and I met up with him at a
he didn't like the 6. He hated the 6.
He did, because the 6, like when he did his when he had his McLaren, a lot of his videos, when he did the talking head portion of it, he would put his camera on the hood, on the roof of his McLaren, and every time you like touch the top of the hood, it made this like insane vibrating sound. And his Hero 4 never did that, but the 6 does. And I think the 5 did too, if I remember correctly. But
I would just like to. Did you just mute my Matt?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix the audio.
Matt, you've been muted.
How do I undo it now?
Oh, I can undo it. I don't need you to do it. Boop. There you go.
How's
I have
that?
the control room.
Okay.
All right. I don't know what's going on.
We got it. We got rid of the echo, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I still can't hear him at all. Like, I can't hear him talking. I can't hear him saying anything.
I don't know. I don't know what it is because I can hear this.
Yeah, I can hear all you guys fine. How about in the chat? Can you guys hear me okay?
I think they can. But, you know, I mean, I would love to be able to get one or two viewers. I don't need a 5, 6, or 7. I'd be happy with the 4s. Technically, all the stuff that I have is for the Hero 4.
Yeah.
All my
Oh, I
attachments.
can hear him now.
Well, the thing of it is, the 4, like what Steve said, the Hero 4 Silver has the best sound. And the thing of it is, the Hero 4 still does 1080 at 60 frames a second, if I'm not mistaken.
You don't need anything more than that.
No, you don't. You don't. It's like the video I did about, why 4K sucks.
Yep, I watched that.
You don't need it.
No, you don't. I don't upload it anything more than 1080p.
Because, with 4K, you've got, you need a computer that can handle the 4K footage.
Right.
You need to have the storage space for 4K.
God, storage space even for the 1080p is ridiculous.
Yeah. So.
Everybody needs to hit the thumb down button for me, please. I don't want any likes on this video. Everybody hit the thumbs down button. We are fighting the trolls on this one. We are fighting the goats and the trolls. If everybody, they can't kill my feed because everybody is a thumbs down. They have no effect there.
But here's the other thing. Even the what was it? Did the Hero 5 have 4K? I think it did. The Hero 5, 6, and 7. They are not even real 4K. The GoPro does not have real 4K. It has too small of a sensor. It is not the same.
No, they're just upscaling it.
That's why I said in my last video, not all 4K is the same.
Right.
I even talked about it. The little Yi Light. It's a great action camera. By far, it is for $100, dude. It's a great action camera. It does 4K at 15 frames per second. It freaking sucks. It is horrible.
I'm going to interrupt.
You wouldn't even want it. But
I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah, it's like,
you can go right back to your conversation in a minute. Hammer down the 4 dislikes that are on my video were requested by me, because I will get the dislikes of the actual trolls that dislike this video will dislike it like a day or two. And if they've already, I won't have to notice that they disliked it, because everybody else, I don't want any likes on this video. Everybody click the dislike button. Do me a favor, do me a solid. I'm asking you to hit that dislike button, smash it.
Okay, there you go.
Dislike button. I am castrating the trolls.
But what honestly, the camera setting that, like, if people like to do cinematic stuff like what I do, the one frame rate that people really need to look for is, forget about 4K. Look for the 1080 at 120 frames a second.
Does the GoPro 4 do that?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I thought it did.
It does. It does. And the reason why is that 120 frames per second, you can slow down to.
Yeah, well, the more you slow it down, the less frames per second it is. The more you slow it down, the less frames per second it is.
Correct. So
if you slow it down to 60 by half, well, now you're getting 30 frames a second.
Correct. Just like, so let's say you want to, if you film at 30 frames per second or 24 frames per second, and if you slow it down by half, it's going to be choppy. It's going to be like jittery.
Right.
But if you film at 60, like 1080p, 60 frames a second, and you slow it down by half, it's going to be smooth. Whereas if you have a camera that does 120, you can slow it down by 75%, and you're going to get that ultra buttery smooth slow motion B-roll.
Right. Honestly, I don't even know what the one that I have is capable of.
What do you have?
That Seiko or whatever action cam. It looks like the GoPro.
Just if you can do 60 frames a second,
I don't
you
know.
can.
I don't know what it actually is filming at. I never bothered to check.
And actually, one thing I'll touch base on while we're waiting for him. So while it's good to also use a high FPS, there are situations where you want to use a low frames per second. If you're shooting in a very low light, then you really want to try to knock down to the 24 or 30 frames per second, because I found that out when I went inside of a haunted jail and it was really dark. And I looked at my video and all my video was fuzzy. And I actually went in there shooting, I think it was, it was 1080 at 120, whatever the heck it was, frames a second. So I thought like, oh, high frame rate, like it'll look great. The whole thing like fuzzy, looked like crap.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing with low light too, you want to make sure you're, depending on what camera you have. I mean, obviously, if you have an action camera or a phone, unfortunately, it's got such a small sensor. They don't, no action camera, no phone is going to do good in low light. If you want, use a camera that has a low aperture. So like one of the lenses I'm going to get for my camera next is what is notably dubbed as the Nifty 50. It's a 50 millimeter f1.4.
Yeah.
And the lower the number, the better it does in low light. So it's 50 millimeters. And on the camera that I have, it's an APS-C size sensor. So it's actually not the equivalent, I want to say, is like 80 millimeters on a full frame camera, but the aperture is f1.4. So low light, it's going to do really, really well. It's not necessarily like has to do with frame rate, but the action cameras, they're just not, if they don't have the light, they're just not going to do good.
Well, and I didn't. That's the one thing I liked about, which I did bring it up on this one. The camera that I was looking at is, like I said, it was designed for, it's this one here. That's the one that I want to get. Now, granted, like I said, it's like 10 years old now.
Real quick, I looked up your action camera since you showed it.
Yeah.
It caps out at 4K for 60 and 1080 for 120.
So it does do 120.
Yes.
I mean, this thing I think is like $100.
Yeah, it says on here on Amazon it's 140. So.
Yeah, so it does 4K 60. But like I said, in like if you were outside in natural sunlight or like what they call golden hour, like at the end of the day when the sun's just setting, like you're going to get great footage out of that camera. But low light, forget it. Doesn't matter.
I don't have this one for low light. If I really want to use low light, the camera on the back of this is great for low light. It does low light very well. So I mean, and I use things for what they're good for. This one is this is not a dedicated my only camera that I use.
Yeah.
Like
but you know what? Those cameras, they are great backup cameras though. Like the E-Light, the real inexpensive one, they're awesome.
Yeah. But that's what they're supposed to be used for.
Yeah, exactly.
Besides, if I'm working somewhere that's low light, it's what I have shop lights for. I can light the place up. Don't have it right here, but I know that I do have it right here.
But while you're looking for that, even though the like the GoPro Hero 7, I was at it was last November. I was at the People's Fleet, or no People's Fleet, I was at a radio station. It was dark in there, and I had the 2.7K on, and I had Hypersmooth on, and it was blurry. The footage sucked. on a brand new Hero 7 Black. The footage sucked.
Yeah, I have no problems with light until this thing runs out of battery.
Yeah.
Which doesn't take long. This thing only lasts maybe about an hour with battery. But you know what? This one's great. I would just probably have like 4 or 5 of these sitting there so I can have some on the charger. Because the thing is it sucks is you can't use them while they're plugged in, which I think is a really stupid thing. But then again, it is a Harbor Freight light.
Yeah.
You can't use it while it's plugged in, and the battery, I think, does not last nearly as long as it should for a garage light. Because if you're a full-time mechanic, you're in the shop 8 hours. You don't want a light that's only going to work for an hour.
Yeah. Well, honestly, when it comes to YouTube vlogging, 2 of the best cameras right now, in all honesty, are, if you want a small form factor, are the G7X Mark II and the Sony RX100 Mark VI.
All right. Well, I mean, the thing is also what you do versus what I do, completely different.
True.
For me, those cameras would be more of a liability because I'd be afraid of hurting them.
Well, honestly, like the G7X Mark II, or even the G7X Mark, like the Mark I, I mean, like for vlogging, it's got that little flip-up screen, and I know Guitar McGinn's 01 still uses that. Parker from Vehicle Virgins still uses it.
Oh, this light.
Dude, that's a great camera.
There you go.
Dude, that looks like a fucking lightsaber.
And it even gets brighter. But I mean, yeah, for I think I paid like $30 for this. So like, if you're a shop, I'd buy like a few of them and leave a couple of them plugged in. Now my freaking camera's all freaking freaked out. Hey.
So sorry.
I can't focus.
There we go.
It took a day. But the thing is like for me, I mean, how much do those cameras cost?
Well, Steve said, so Steve, you finally did pick up all right. Because I remember I was at Motorama last year, and I think Steve still had his GoPro Hero 5, and I had the G7X Mark II. Dude, the only reason I went from the G7X to the Canon EOS M50 is because I want to get into more photography and I can change the lenses out. But outside of that, the G7X is a banging.
Again, how much does it cost?
$650.
Yeah, $650. I could buy a lot of car parts. You know what I mean? You gotta look at it from my point of view. With the living paycheck to paycheck, I have to watch where I put my money. Like I said, I didn't pay a dime for this because it was a gift. If this wasn't a gift, I wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
I would be using these. Or I would have put the money into buying the dedicated camcorder.
No, I mean, going from the phone to an action camera, that's what I did. I went from my iPhone to the $100 E-Lite. And I mean,
you got to understand that I did this. I went through all of this like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
4 years ago, I went from using a cell phone to getting a GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition and the camcorder, having the big computer rig, to do all my editing, which I'll tell you what, from going from editing on that computer to editing on anything else, everything else is frustrating, including this Alienware. Even though this Alienware is really, really, really a great laptop, it's still frustrating with how laggy it gets under load. Compared to the computer that I had built. So I mean, I'm working my way back up. I had to start over, start from scratch, and I had to work over again. So like, this is a godsend because I mean now I can do that, point of view video and stuff like that. I can do
those little action cameras. I mean, if you've got some decent lighting, dude, they're great. And the thing of it is, there's only about 0.1% of the population that give a shit about video quality. The majority of people that watch YouTube videos could care less.
Well, and you know what? I'm gonna shove this in here. If you're watching your videos on your phone, okay, if you have a major carrier and you're not watching it on Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
most carriers' mobile data will not play anything greater than 720.
No. I mean, when I like,
Carrier literally will stop the stream from going above 720.
yeah, like when I go on my phone and I look at anyone's video, like if I go with Steve's or yours or whatever, like default setting is like 320p. I mean, it's not even high definition.
Mine, I literally have default setting at HD 1080p if it'll play it. But the thing is, Verizon will not play a 1080p video at 1080p unless you are on Wi-Fi because of data limits.
Yeah,
and I have unlimited data. I have unlimited data, but the thing is they still won't do it because they're trying to limit the amount of data that you are freely using.
Yeah. It's funny. Classic Ride Society said, I bought a Canon SL2 and I've yet to upload a video from it. I prefer my phone. And you know, and the thing with like the SL2, the SL3 that came out, the good thing about those cameras is they're great for video, but they have the EF mount of lenses, meaning you can use any lens of Canon on that. Where like my camera is the EOS M50, it has the M mount. In order to use like EF lenses, I have to use an adapter. So, but yeah, I mean the phones, classic. What kind of phone do you have? I mean, the phones nowadays are ridiculously good.
S9 Plus, man, you cannot get this camera for.
They're really good.
Camera for. I mean, granted, the phone's $1,000 almost. But the thing is the camera, you know, I mean, who was it? Was it McCannon or that did that? Is it a phone or is it a DSLR?
I forget.
I think it was McCannon, your buddy.
Oh, Peter McKinnon. Yeah.
He did that comparison, and they were having trouble distinguishing which one was the phone and which one was the DSLR.
He did that, and Peter's like partner, Matt, his name's Matty. God, I can't pronounce his last name. He's like Swedish, but he lives in Canada. He did a video where he filmed in a bunch of different frame rates. So he did 4K, he did 1080, he did 720. And honestly, like I'm watching the video, I could not tell the difference between 720, 4K, 1080. I couldn't tell the difference.
Unless you're watching it on a 4K television, you're not going to either.
No, you're not.
Whether you can be watching it on a 4K television, it doesn't mean it's being displayed in 4K. Correct.
You need the production. You know, these people, and that's why like Samsung now is advertising and selling an 8K television. Nobody. No cable channel, no one is broadcasting or developing 8K content.
When 420 came out, when 1080 came out, nobody was producing any content for it. The cable companies, even playing in HD, were not displaying full 1080.
But yet, you know, Samsung is going to make a killing on that because there are you know, how many meatheads living in America
that don't know?
Like, oh my God, honey, we need to get that 8K TV because I got to watch some freaking NFL ESPN.
Yes, because I want to see your butt sweating.
$10,000 on a TV.
Because I want to see my butt hair sweating, right?
But it's not even 8K. It's not even 4K.
Now, most TVs still not even playing 1080p. The most they play is 1080i.
And there's a difference between 1080p and 1080i.
Yes, 1080i is every other pixel, every other frame.
Between P and I is.
Right. 1080i, every other pixel, every other frame. 1080p.
1080p,
Every pixel.
and I learned this one with my company that I work with because we deal a lot with monitors, operating rooms. P stands for progressive scan. So think of it this way. You've got a line of pixels. So 1080p, 1080 pixels. So P stands for progressive. So there's a refresh rate on every kind of monitor, whether it's 60 hertz, 120 hertz, whatever. Progressive means line 1 refreshes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so on and so forth. 1080i is integral, meaning line 1, line 3, line 5, and then when it gets to the bottom, then it's line 2, line 4, line 6, line 8.
Every other pixel, every other frame.
Correct.
And there is a big difference. That's why you get a lot of blur when you watch a 1080i.
Exactly.
Your eye doesn't necessarily catch it right away.
No, it doesn't. And it really doesn't catch it unless you really kind of like pay attention.
Well, because your eye then normally makes up.
Yeah.
Your brain will fill in that missing information. All right, see you later, Pete. I am not avoiding talking in the chat. I have a hard time texting or typing and with what's on the screen. I do sit here and read it because it's literally right here. Now, you guys can't see it, but like my whole setup is.
Yeah, the way I have it is like I have a tiny laptop. This is my work laptop, so it's only like 13 inches from like
over here.
Screens.
This is my wow. Let's just jump all over the place.
That's about what I have. I have on one side, like over here, as I look at it, I have the video feed, and then over on this side is where I have chat.
Yeah, but see, I'm also watching my my stats as we go. It lets me know how many people are in the stream, how many people are talking, and all that fun stuff. Let's put you back up here. But yeah, so I mean, like I am watching. I don't necessarily have a chance because it's kind of like I can just like interrupt you talking to talk about what they're talking about in the chat. But I am watching it. That I could definitely go for some of that shine there, Hummer down, or maybe even tag along. I don't know if I can make it down there myself. That's the problem. He's talking about the Gallant down in on Memorial Day.
That's I looked at that last year when Lindsay. Has anyone ever heard from her?
It's empty, so I haven't heard from her.
Kind of,
she got rid of me off of Facebook, Instagram, everything.
I'm kind of worried about, because she was like really active and just dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, she used to have the car show that she used to post videos on all the time, and then she just boomed. Yes, please, everybody hit the thumbs down. I'm actually being serious about that.
Lindsay was awesome. So, like,
I'm
worried that, I hope she's okay.
I think she's okay. I just think she dropped off of social media.
Yeah. Okay. I hope so because
that's where I'm gonna stick it unless I hear otherwise.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like a lot was I think it's 8 hours from where I live.
Yeah, it's actually not that far of a drive. But the thing is if depending on what weekend it is, I may or may not be working.
Yeah.
The other thing is,
like it's hotel stay, and then you got dinner, and
I can't do well. I live paycheck to paycheck, so I would I wouldn't mind being somebody's gopher for a trip down there, but I couldn't probably afford to go down there on my own.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Hey, I mean it. I mean, hit the thumbs down button. I mean, I know that they're all the ones that are in there right now are all likes actually, but you know what I mean? It's just, I can just think that when the trolls decide to hit my channel, maybe they might hit the like button.
Yeah.
And then I ask you guys all changed it back to likes again.
Yeah.
Could maybe. Or
you know what? It is like everybody says, it's interaction.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said if I'm going to see
honestly, the worst would be no view time and no interaction at all. That's the worst.
Well, I mean, that's like the last one that I just put up, the one with me hitting the junkyard for the second time and then working on the TA.
Yeah, yeah.
I got upset because, it's over 24 hours into it being up and I had 36 views.
Yeah.
I'm not normally that bad. I'm normally hitting 70, 80 views by like 24 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, it got me a little, it's like, hey, where'd the support go?
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot for me to be able to get out to the car to begin with, because I got to get a babysitter for Luca and it's got to be my day off. And if I actually need help in the garage, it's during the week. There's nobody available.
Right.
Because I can't go on the weekends because I have my kids.
Yeah.
And if it's really hard for me to drag, like I have to drag Zach with me everywhere I go. I can't leave him with anybody.
Yeah.
And it's in my support. It's in my order.
Mm-hmm.
So I really can't. I have to bring him with me wherever I go. Whereas the other one, I can leave him anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it sucks because if I have to leave them because that's my visitation time.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave them anywhere.
Yeah.
But it's not like by the time I get home from work during the week, by the time I get home, it's already 4:30, 5 o'clock at night. My shop is a half hour away from my home. So by the time I get out there, even if I literally drop my kid off, because I pick my kid up on my way home from work, my youngest one, even if I literally drop him off and run, the earliest I can get out to the shop would probably be around 5:15, 5:30.
Right.
And then by the time you get set up, get the tools out, get starting into work, I'm looking, maybe an hour, 2 hours worth of work before I got to start packing up and heading home so I can actually get home at a decent time.
Yeah.
Because I get up at 5:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. You really have a limited window of what you can do.
Yeah, I work on my day off during the week.
Yeah.
So that's when I have time to get out of the shop, at least at the moment. I do try to make the best of it as much as I can, but there's only so much you can do, with no help, and sometimes I don't have the materials I need or the part that I need to be able to do what I want to get done. So there's a whole balancing act that I have to do to be able to get anything done in the shop.
Yeah.
Like last time I went to go start doing the package tray, which I mean not the package tray, the battery tray. Well, I started working on it. I realized, oh wait, this one particular paint needs 24 hours to cure. Well, that sucks because that takes a whole week.
Right.
Yeah, it only takes 24 hours for it to cure, but by the time I get back to it, it's a week.
Exactly.
Now I cheated and I said, screw it. Everything looked dry. It looked fine. I shot black paint over it. Now, by the time I get out there, this week, I might find out that all the black paint that I sprayed on it freaking crinkled and is now garbage because I decided to cheat and spray it black before the rust converter had a chance to fully do its job. Or I might get away with it by the skin of my teeth and it may be just fine and I can start installing it.
Yeah.
It is what it is either way, but I said, screw it. I wanted to have some kind of content at the end. It looked nice on video. We'll deal with it if it didn't work later. That could just be part of another. My next video is, hey, I screwed up.
Yeah. Well, hey, dude, it's about 11 o'clock, so I'm probably going to head off here.
That's okay. Did Alan ever even actually say goodbye? Did he just poof?
Yeah, he just like click.
As my friends go, doo doo. It's when we have somebody like we're playing racing games and somebody goes off the track, you make that like doo doo. Yeah. It's from a game show when somebody like poops up or something. But it's become like a rolling meme or gag with us while we're racing. But yep, glad to have you aboard. I do enjoy having you after your joining of your other friends on the other channel.
Well, I love hanging out with everybody, and it's, I'm glad that you go kind of long because I know Greg goes right till about 10 o'clock because you get up early, and I mean I want to get on and hang out with everybody. So whenever I can get on, it's great to.
Yeah, my thing is I will stay on until either A, I get tired, or B, I have no more interaction.
Yeah.
I don't have talk to. I'm not going to sit up here and talk to myself. So as long as the chat is going, and as long as I have somebody to hang out with up here, I'm fine. I think I might be cutting it short here today because, yeah, I think I might be cutting it short after you leave anyway. Not because of you leaving, but for other reasons. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point. This is me hanging out with my friends. That's what this is. I live out nowhere. Yeah. I don't live near any of you guys. I mean, I live close enough, but not close enough.
Right. Yeah.
Like an hour and a half away from me, but that's an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
On the grand scheme of things, you're pretty close. But are you enough to hang out with all the time? No, not really.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you live 2 towns over or something.
Yeah. Before I head off, Firebird Nation Car Club. Where is he from, Sean? I live down in Spring Grove, Pennsylvania. So, like, if you were to go to Google Maps and type in like York.
Firebird Nation, this is Chris. You remember him from my other live stream?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Chris.
He's local. He actually was from like the Pocono area-ish is where he had one of his shops. But he's definitely
all right.
the one that
I live like if you were to look at a map, go to Google Maps, look at Harrisburg, and then go like an hour south. I live in between York and Hanover in a town called Spring Grove.
Yeah, so I mean, most of the people that I talk with up here are all local. You mean Alan? Alan lives not far from me. He lives right on the other side of Lehighton. You know, it's literally it's half hour, 40 minutes for me. Yeah. Alan doesn't actually live that far from me. But the problem is,
I live about an hour north of Baltimore.
Oh, you're in Lancaster now.
Oh,
he's not far from you.
I'm Lancaster.
Lancaster's like a half hour.
Minutes maybe from the river.
Yeah. What's with the thumbs down?
Seriously.
Oh, she's giving me more thumbs down. She's extra supporting me.
Damn.
Feed the trolls.
Ryan says I'm from South Jersey. Ryan, my whole damn family is from Jersey.
All of the thumbs downs, I feel so loved.
Dude, like, I'm not even kidding, Ryan. My whole family, like on my mom's side, my mom and dad's side, they're from Jersey.
Well, technically, I'm a Summers, SOMERS. And, they kind of run Summers Point, and I think it's Summers, New York, and Summers Point, New Jersey, or it's the other way around. I think it's Summers Point, New Jersey, and Summers, New York. That town is run by my mom's side of the family.
Dick Skinner Shop and Snap-on Tools, Dallas, Texas. The only time I was in Texas was basic training and tech school for the military.
Dick is near my friend Pete, which is one of my favorite. Was actually one of my original favorite big YouTube channels. SWRNC, Southwest Rod and Customs. Definitely. The hell I'm going to sell the TA for a Mustang. What the hell are you smoking? The only thing worse than selling the TA for a Mustang is to get a 6-cylinder.
Ooh.
Sorry, Matt. I had to say that one.
Oh.
I said, he goes, for a 6-cylinder Mustang, I said the only thing worse than selling my TA for a 6-cylinder Mustang would be a 6-cylinder Camaro. Did I tell you the story of when I ran into
anything? Sorry.
Did I tell you the story of when I ran into Craig on 78?
No.
I was coming back. I had just gotten off. Just gotten onto 78 at the Charlottesville exit.
Okay.
And I'm going north up to Hamburg because that's where I get off. Because I picked my kid in Charlottesville and I come home. And I had just like the tractor trailer that was coming up on the slow lane, he couldn't move over because there was a car next to him. Otherwise, normally they would move over and let me on. So I had to wait for after the tractor trailer to pass me before I could get on. And as the tractor trailer goes past the car that was next to him, or somehow I ended up No. I ended up in front of the tractor trailer, and I ended up in front of the tractor trailer, and the car that wouldn't let the tractor trailer move over came up next to me, and I caught just the front corner of it. It's a darkish red Camaro. I'm like, okay. As cars pull up further, I start seeing the flames down the side of it. I'm like, no, no way. It's pulling up a little bit further, and it's dark out. It's dark out, so I couldn't really see, anything. Pulls up forward, and I noticed the black banner all the way across between the taillights. I was like, there is no other car that is done like that.
No.
And it's loud. It sounds horrible. And it goes by me. So you know what? I scoot. There was another car behind that one. So I scoot over behind that car. Just going kind of slow. He goosed it, right? And again, like I said, it's just noise. I mean, I like loud cars, and this thing's just noise. Goes up, and then he cuts over into the slow lane in front of a bunch of cars in front of me. So I get out from around this slow car, and I goose it and catch back up to him. And so cruising there, and we're cruising, back to back. Now I have those really, really super bright, the orange Sylvanias. They're like $80 for two of them. And so people think I have my high beams on all the time. Until I hit my high beams, then they regret their decision. So he ended up trying to accelerate away, and I'm like 3/4 throttle right on his tail. He never even pulled away. Like literally, we kept the same distance as he was accelerating. And then he pulled over into the slow lane, right, and went to goose it again. And I just went. I'm gone. And he's still back there. And I pull off onto the other thing. And as soon as I pulled off, I text Alan. I told Alan, I said, your car sounds better. And he says, compared to whose? I said, Greg's. He goes, he said, I had to pull it up again, but it was absolutely hilarious because it didn't even, I'm in a Kia Soul, and he's in his V6 Camaro, and he couldn't pull away. He could not pull away from a Kia.
As far as I'm concerned, there's only a couple of V6s that sound that good. That is a Nissan GTR, an Acura NSX, and a Ford GT. Outside of that,
you know what? No, and this is a Mustang. Alan's car sounds nice. His sounds nice. I've had it in my video. It's not loud. I mean, it's got some nice tone to it. It's not ridiculous, frequently loud, but it's got a nice tone to it.
Yeah.
It's not a V8. He doesn't try to make it sound like a V8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for a V6, it has a nice tone to it.
Yeah. Well, Mustangs, in all honesty, Mustangs sound pretty damn good.
They do.
Yeah.
All the way up until they crash into you on the side of the road. If you're a spectator, the sound of a Mustang is like hearing the dun 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 dun.
All right, I gotta head off, man. I'm tired.
All right, I think it's going on almost. So I think I'm going to call this one quit. So if you want to hang out at least until we sign off here,
Steve, everybody in the chat, we got to do that barbecue video.
Yes. And I need to hang out with more friends. So, I might just stow away in your trunk on your way down there.
Steve, what Steve just posted, that honestly, if I had the money to fix up cars that I wanted to from my childhood, I absolutely loved the Chevy Cavalier Z24.
It was a sweet car. It was a good looking car when they were beat up.
When I graduated high school, there was one for sale It had a lowering kit on it.
Mhm.
Not a lot. It wasn't slammed. No camber or any stupid shit like that. But it was lowered a little bit. It was the two-tone gray, so it was the dark gray on top of the light gray. It had all like the GTS like headlight covers, taillight covers. Dude had a sound system in it. It looks so good, and I want to recreate that car. So I got to find that like 1990 89 Z24.
They're getting harder and harder to find.
So good. I love that car. But to everybody in the chat, been an awesome night.
Yep. I'm sorry, Elliot. You're a little late, and I'm gonna head off because somebody needs my my boyfriend presents. Anyway, so definitely see you guys next weekend. If you would don't mind, please check out my Teespring store. I think you can just go to Teespring and type in NOVAtazz. My stuff will all pop up. Could definitely use the support. I am looking at making a really big purchase, and I could definitely use some support from you guys to make sure that happens. So until next time, I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place, 9 p.m. Eastern, here with all my friends. Can't wait to have you back. All right.
Night, everybody.